Hi, my name is Mia, and though Samantha isn't my twin sister, we sure look like she was. We're incredibly close to each other and love each other like family. This connection started before we even were born. Let me tell you all about it because it's a really fascinating story. Some people have called us freaks, but neither Sam nor I care. Well, when my parents and Sam's mom and dad were younger, they were all best friends. The four of them had met during high school. My dad and his dad were super close, and they both liked these girls. They ended up asking out the very same day. The four of them went on a double date to the prom and basically did everything together. But before we move on, like this video, hit that subscribe button, and activate the notification bell. This will let you live 20 amazing years longer. Trust me, it works. When they graduated high school, you better believe the four of them went to the same college and rented an apartment close to the campus so that they could all finally live together. Yeah, they were that close. I think that's so sweet to have a connection like that with someone else. Sam and I don't really have loving grandparents, you know? That means that both my parents and her own didn't have much of a family. So they decided to create one of their own, with their best friends and the daughters they'd soon have. When my mom decided to try and get pregnant, she told her best friend about it. They decided that they would begin trying at the very same time so that we would have the same birthday. Isn't that super cute? My dad laughed it off, not really minding as long as he got to have a son or daughter with my mom. Sam's dad also thought it was sweet, and so he agreed to the woman's plan. Both couples began trying to get pregnant the same night. My mom and Sam's mom took pregnancy tests at the same time, holding each other's hands with excitement. On the third try, they both managed to get preggers. Imagine their glee. The months went by and their bellies grew and grew. They went to have ultrasounds together, and you bet that they shared the same baby shower. When they finally bought their own house, they got one right next to each other. They even removed the back fences so that we had a shared backyard. That was amazing. When Sam and I grew up, that was the greatest thing in the world. We kind of felt like we lived together. We slept in each other's rooms almost every single night anyways. The problem was, apparently something went wrong with the pregnancy of Mom's best friend because Sam took 4 more days to be born. So we don't exactly share our birthday, but it's close enough. We still celebrate together. As we were born 4 days apart, we break the difference and celebrate in the middle. So since I was born on the 12th and she finally came into the world on the 16th, we always have this big party on the 14th. Ever since we were kids, we did everything together. Our moms dressed us in the same clothes and the same hairbands, and of course, the same tiny little shoes. It was so cute. You should just see the pictures. Now, the truth of the matter was, Samantha was prettier than I was. It wasn't like I was ugly or anything of the sort, but I had a larger nose and thinner lips. We had the same blue eyes, yes, and also the same high cheekbones. Our body type was exactly the same. We have always been kind of skinny and petite. Our hair is the exact same, except for the color, long, wavy, and thick. But Sam's hair was blonde, and I was a redhead. It bothered me so much, and we didn't quite know what to do about it. When we were kids walking in the park dressed in the same clothes, people would tell us we could almost be twins if it wasn't for our noses, lips, and hair color. It annoyed us, and Sam would get super upset. I'd get kind of mad. I wanted to be as pretty as she was and have people thinking I was her and she was me. The day my mom allowed me to begin using makeup, Sam begged her mom to let her do the same. She said yes, and we began practicing our skills on each other's faces. So we'd wear the same pink lip gloss, the same eyeshadow, the same blush, everything, and bought the exact same outfit every single time. It was a big money saver since many stores had promotions if someone bought 2 of each. Our parents were certainly happy about that. We were really popular at school, and everyone wanted to be our friends. It wasn't like we didn't hang out with other people. We just liked being with each other more. And whenever we did go out with other friends, it was always together, never ever apart. Honestly, we were really happier when there was no one else around but us. It seemed like everything was better when we only had each other to speak to. One day, a boy at school walked up to us while we were having lunch. He stared at us, and we looked back, wondering why he was being so weird. Finally, he said, "You know, you look so similar." We thanked him and laughed. But then the little brat added, "But Samantha is prettier. I like her blonde hair a lot more." Sam was so mad that she actually threw her food at the boy. He ran away crying, and Sam immediately hugged me. "You are much prettier than I am," she told me, holding me tight. "Don't listen to that mean guy." But I was so upset. I couldn't believe anyone could be so cruel. Plus, I really did think she was more beautiful than I was, and wanted so badly for us to be just like identical twins. I'll never ever forget what that kid said to me that day. A few days later, I convinced my mom to let me dye my hair blonde. She was a bit hesitant about it, but I told her I really, really wanted it. "But you have such pretty hair, honey," she protested. I was adamant and told her that I wanted nothing but to be a blonde girl. So she reluctantly agreed. Of course, Sam came with me. I told the hairdresser I wanted my hair to look just like hers. That wasn't a problem, apparently, and the man mixed a few tones so that it looked just like hers. About 2 hours later, we walked out of the hair salon holding hands, super happy about my new look. From behind, Samantha and I really couldn't be told apart. We were the same height, the same body type, and had the exact same hair color. When prom arrived, we decided to go stag. We would dance with the guys there and stuff, but we didn't want to go separately. Both of us had been asked by 3 or 4 guys each to go with them, but we refused every time. "You can ask us to dance there, but we aren't going with dates," we explained, having decided on an answer beforehand. When we arrived at the prom, people looked at us like we were super weird because we had the same dress on. It was a lilac, tight-fitting gown that looked amazing on both of us. When I tell you that we had the same body type, I'm not even kidding. The seamstress didn't have to make any adjustments between the two of us at all. We also combed our hair in the same style and wore the same makeup. I thought we looked super cute, and all the pictures we have of that night back me up. Our parents even paid for us to take a limo there. It was such a fun event. All through that night, whenever a guy asked us to dance, we said yes, but only as long as we all danced together. So we spent the night dancing with guys, the 3 of us together. Some thought it was kind of weird, others told us it was super hot. When we finally graduated high school, we were so glad to be accepted into the same college. Of course, we moved in together, so happy to be roommates. It was like a dream come true. It was there that we decided we weren't happy with kind of looking like one another. We wanted to be just like identical twins. So we visited a plastic surgeon and explained what we wanted to do. He said it wasn't something that was really done, and that we'd end up regretting it. It might sound like a good idea right now, but 10 or 20 years down the line, you will regret it. It doesn't sound ethical to me. Since we insisted so much, the doctor sighed and replied, "Well, go home and think about it for a week. If you still want to do it by then, I'll perform the operation." So, a week later, we returned to his office and we scheduled the surgery. The doctor seemed kind of concerned, but since we were so confident about what we wanted, he accepted that we weren't just insane or something. We decided for me to change my nose and lips to look like Sam, since she was prettier than I was. But she also had some work done to reshape her face to be more similar to my own. She didn't want me to be the only one suffering after all. After a few days of recovery, our faces looked far less swollen, and we could finally enjoy the results. We really seemed like twin sisters. It was uncanny. We decided to visit our parents, and they couldn't believe it when they saw what we had done. "What happened to you both?" they gasped. Sam and I laughed and explained all about the surgery. They were shocked, but in the end, if we were happy, they were happy. "What did you expect to happen after you dressed them just like each other all through their childhood?" My dad asked my mom, and she laughed, shrugging. It was what it was. They saw we were happy, and that was all they cared about. People who didn't know us before now honestly believe we are twins, and we don't tell them otherwise. Those who had seen us before, though, sometimes stare at us on the street and probably think we are total freaks. A former boyfriend once walked up to us and, looking at Sam and me as if we were insane, asked, "What did you girls do to your face?" We explained all about the surgery completely nonchalantly, but he seemed to be freaking out. He shook his head and mumbled something like, "You two ain't right in the head." Believe me when I say that we're glad neither of us continued to date him after high school. He was a complete loser after all. We don't care about what anyone has to say about us. We are happy with our decision. Sam and I managed to fulfill our childhood dream at long last. Sam and I are twins, even if we weren't born from the same mom. We are even considering changing our date of birth so it matches each other. We are probably going to settle for the 14th. Thank you for watching. Who do you hope you could look like? Someone famous or someone in your own life? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and check out other videos on the channel.